Hello there, my name is Jason Perkins. I'm a workers' compensation attorney. I'd like to welcome you to another episode in the Georgia Workers' Compensation video series. Today I want to talk with you about how workers' compensation settlements work. The first question you may have is, what is a workers' compensation settlement? Workers' compensation settlement is an agreement to accept a negotiated lump sum amount of money, generally from the workers' compensation insurance company or your employer, and in exchange you give up your workers' compensation case. That means you give up potential future workers' compensation rights that you may have in exchange for that lump sum amount of money. Now, in Georgia, workers' compensation settlements have to be approved by a workers' compensation judge before they're final. That means you can't just reach an agreement with your employer or the insurance company. That agreement has to be put in writing, signed, and then approved by a judge. Now, how does an attorney determine the amount of a workers' compensation settlement? When I'm representing my clients, there's really two things I'm doing with regard to workers' compensation settlement. The first is giving my client advice about what is the lowest amount they should be willing to take and still settle their case. And the second thing I'm doing, regardless of what that lowest amount is trying to convince the workers' compensation insurance company to pay as much as possible. So I'm negotiating settlements on behalf of my clients. I'm always making sure that I get them as much as I can without ever going below the bottom line that they're okay with and they've authorized me to settle their case for. My job is to explain to them the different options, discuss the pros and cons of each option, and ultimately convince the insurance company to pay as much as possible to settle my client's case. Now, you may have a question about whether there's a particular time that you have to settle your workers' compensation case. The answer to that question is no. As a matter of fact, you never have to settle your case. And if you do settle your case, there's no particular time that you have to settle your case. Now, when you're looking at settlement, there are some times that it is better to settle than others. For example, you can settle your workers' compensation case too early because you just don't understand the full extent of your injury yet, and that's not a good thing to do. There are also some situations where you can wait too long to settle. Now, what happens if you do agree on a workers' compensation settlement? If you reach agreement on a settlement, as I mentioned earlier, that agreement has to be reduced to writing. So there's some settlement documents prepared. Those documents have to be signed by you and an attorney who represents you, if you've got an attorney representing you, and also by the attorney that's representing your employer or the workers' compensation insurance company. Once those documents are signed, they need to be submitted to the State Board of Workers' Compensation. And the State Board of Workers' Compensation, a workers' compensation judge will review and approve them. Once they've been approved by the workers' compensation judge, they are final at that point. And then the workers' compensation insurance company has 20 days from approval to pay the settlement. If they don't pay it within 20 days, they're going to owe a 20% late penalty on the settlement amount. I hope you found this information about how workers' compensation settlements work helpful. If you have, please let me know that. One of the best ways you can do that is by liking this video or giving it a thumbs up. If you've got more questions about workers' compensation settlements or any other part of workers' compensation law, I'd encourage you to reach out and schedule a free consultation about your case. There's two easy ways you can set that consultation up. The first is by calling the phone number at the bottom of the screen, and the other is by reaching out to us to our website, which is www.perkinslawtalk.com. Click on and submit the free consultation request form, and a member of our team will reach out to you and get one scheduled. I'd like to thank you again for watching this video today. I wish you the best of luck as you recover from your injuries.